Hi guys, welcome back to Carcentric. This morning we're here at Porsche South Bay and we're going to be previewing the 992 911 Sport Classic. Now this is a car that is a limited production car. 1,250 are going to be made worldwide, and obviously a certain amount are going to be coming to the United States. So let's have a look around this car, shall we? All right, as I was saying, this car is kind of an homage to the early 911s, and there's a lot of different design cues that I want to point out. First and foremost, let's look at these wheels. Now these are obviously designed to look like the original Fuchs wheels from the late 60s and early 70s. Those are kind of iconic 911 wheels, and this is the modern interpretation that Porsche's come up with. You can see, of course, their center locks, as so many of the higher priced Porsches have the center lock wheels, and of course the Sport Classic is in that range, so it has the beautiful center locks. Now let's take a look. Let's go back to the rear of the car because there's a couple really neat things here that they've done. First of all, you can see we've got 911 Sport Classic, Porsche 911 Sport Classic in gold. Now of course that again is a tribute to the 356s and early 911s, where gold was definitely used quite a bit on the different types of models that were being displayed at the time. And so that's really kind of neat. Then of course, look at this spoiler. This of course is right from the 72-73 Carrera RS. It's the famous ducktail spoiler. So this is the modern interpretation of that. And then if we take a look at that, you can see we've got the stripes carried over. Now take a look at the roof on this car, which is carbon fiber. And we've got the indentation here. And this is carried through to the bonnet, which again is carbon fiber. Again, this is all striped to give you that racing look. And this, of course, is an aerodynamic feature. I mean, it's a beautiful look, but it's really done for aerodynamics. And then finally, topping off with a crest with the orange bars. Not the red, as they have had for years, but this is what they had early on, were the orange bars, and this car has that as well. Again, tipping its hat to the early cars. Now, this is in the launch color of Sport Gray Metallic. I say Sport Gray Metallic because you can't really hardly tell it's even metallic, but it is. This color goes back to a 1950 gray color that Porsche had. Again, the tie-in. And this car, of course, you can see here the exclusive manufacturer plate. And this one's done in gold. All these special cars that Porsche is building nowadays come out of this department, the exclusive manufacturer. Beautiful, beautiful handwork done on these cars. And this car just looks absolutely stunning in person. So let's talk a little bit about the specs on this car. 543 horse, twin turbo. The car does track speed of 196, I believe, or 195, 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. It is, of course, a 7-speed stick. This is one of the few Porsche models that is just only available in stick. You cannot get PDK. Again, what they're doing here is just trying to go back to what the 911s were like way back. So here's what you can see of the motor, which isn't much, but you do see the 911 Sport Classic there. Your ad for oil, your coolant there. This is all typical of all these 911s. So that's the back. This, of course, is done in, this spoiler is done in carbon fiber. All right, now let's go to the front, look at the trunk. And of course here, this is typical Porsche. It has this ingenious way of doing, this is for the rear open, the front open trunk. You hear it there. Now let's go over here and look at it. So, now again, you can see the carbon fiber hood. And here's the trunk. Not a terribly large trunk, but enough probably to carry some overnight soft bags. You've got car covers, some other things, of course, that come with these. And there again is that beautiful crest. All right, so I want to highlight this Porsche Heritage badge that's on the back. This is the second car in this heritage type thought process that Porsche has come up with. And we're really fortunate this morning at Porsche South Bay because they happen to have the Porsche 50th Porsche design Targa. And this was the first car to do these kind of honorary series. And here we have that particular car here with us. Another stunning car, and this was an homage to the Targas. And of course, I think this new Targa that came out in the 991 series is just spectacular. I just love the look of these cars. Just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal looking. Now back to our Sport Classic. This car, as we said, is one of 1,250. This car, I think, is car number 674. We're going to open up the interior shortly. We're going to show you the actual plaque that's in here that says this. And I think that's really important. All right, so let's have a look at the interior of this beautiful car, shall we? All right. So here we are. Beautiful 911 Sport Classic plate. We can see the Pepita interior. This is, of course, right out of the early 911s. I believe it was special order on the late 356s, but it definitely was something was adopted right on the early 911s from 1964 on. All right, so now let me get in here and we're going to take a look at the tachometer and some of the other things. Actually, let's catch a shot of these beautiful pedals. Talk about some gorgeous looking pedals. Again, this is what Porsche exclusive manufacturer does. They have all these little fine points that they put onto these cars that really delineate them from the normal production Porsches. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, now look at this tachometer here. This is really cool. You see the green in there? That's, of course, right out of the late 356s, the early 911, even the 912 had that. And the Sport Chrono even has green in it as well. They've carried it over to that. So they've done a beautiful job. And I want to point out that this particular car was ordered with the full leather interior option. Now, normally in this car, the Sport Classic, you would have wood in here. I think it's Paldial wood. But this particular car, being that it was done with the leather option, full leather option, it's leather in place of it, and it's just beautifully done. I wish you could see it in person here. It's just a spectacular. Again, this is what Porsche exclusive manufacturer does. That, of course, the number plate over there, we'll show you that when we get in on the other side of the car. Look at these beautiful sport seats. I can't tell you how soft this leather is. I think it's semi-aniline leather. The Porsche exclusive manufacturer embossed here in the center console area. It's just, the whole car is just beautifully done. Okay, here we are on the passenger side of the car. I want to point out a couple other things. First and foremost, here's the plaque, right? As I said, 1,250 cars made. This is car number 674. You can see it right there. Documents it. And again, look at this incredible interior here. Here, the Pepita. It's just beautifully done. This car has the fire extinguisher option. I hope that never needs to be used, right? But it's here nonetheless. We're looking at, again, look at this beautiful Burmeister. It has that option, and that in stainless steel is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, what a beautiful, the way that is done is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this car is just impeccable. We've got, you know, all this, here's for the, all the little things that the car comes with for the lady, for her makeup and what have you. But the leather, again, I can't stress how beautiful this leather is. It's the cognac leather. This is the standard interior on this car, black cognac. You can get this car in all black if you want, all black leather. But I really think that, at least personally, that would be doing a disservice. This contrast is gorgeous. Here, of course, is the stick, 7-speed, close ratio, stick shift. We've got our little, what would you call it, our little thermos bottle here. And again, The car is just impeccably done. Oh, one other thing that's interesting, that even this little Porsche badge here is done in orange, like the outside badge, instead of red. I've never seen that before either. So this has many special touches on it. Here is the sticker on this particular car, this Sport Classic. 272,300 is the base. You can see it's got about $15,000 worth of options because the actual final is 287,660. It's got some really interesting options. I mean, it's got obviously the Burmeister night vision, several other different things. I noticed they charge $630 for those beautiful aluminum pedals. Probably worth every penny. I think they're gorgeous looking. But anyway, it gives you an idea what this car cost. It's very interesting, you know. The Turbo S, which is an incredible car in its own right, has a base price, I think, of $216,000 and change. Look how much more money this car is, and it's really because of the fact that it's limited production. Again, only 1,250 be built worldwide. That's why it garners the premium in price, plus the Porsche exclusive manufacturer tab on there too. A lot of handwork done on this car to make it as beautiful as it is. All right, here's the key to the Sport Classic. Now, as you can see, it's done in gray, which matches the exterior color of this car. And again, I want to point out, even the Porsche little crest here is shown in orange, the orange bars once again. So they've carried that theme throughout the whole car, which you would imagine. But in any event, it's kind of a neat little trick that they've done here. All right, so now let's start up the car inside. Now, again, as a lot of these new 911s have, you don't really put the key in. You've got a little paddle here that you just turn over. And the car starts. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, that concludes our show today on the 911 Sport Classic. We'd like to thank Porsche South Bay for allowing us to preview this beautiful car that's on their showroom floor. And look out for our next show on the 911S Turbo Exclusive Series. Thanks for watching.